It's funny, when we sat down, we did the interview together. He finally copped to the fact that after we won championships, he was like, okay, I can just relax and coast over the summer because I know I got a teammate who's going to be training 8-10 hours a day. And I was like, see, that's the BS.
That would piss me off.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Right.
That's the issue. But also, it became it's not something that we couldn't have worked out either. Because we've been doing it, right? But I got to a point in my career where it was the rumblings, and some of it created by him, that Kobe can't win without me. And it was like, hold up. No, it's not true.
Right.
It's not true.
Right.
And I'm not going to retire and have people hold that over my head. I said, no, let's find out.
Yeah.
So it was just time to go separate ways.
2000, 2001, that's when it really shifted a little bit. I think Cole really felt like he was being asked to sacrifice a little too much. That was the year where it changed a little bit from some of the tension that great teams do need to a little bit more like one guy maybe standing in the way of the other. For the rest of us on the group, we just always made sure that both guys understood we're not picking a side.
Imagine if LeBron James had a prime Shaquille O'Neal as his teammate. Can you honestly picture him letting that opportunity slip away? Would he ever choose ego over the chance to win 6, 7, maybe even 8 championships? That's exactly what happened in Los Angeles. And the truth is, everyone has been lying to you about who really killed the greatest dynasty that never was.
That's a crazy question. After we split apart, were you trying to get more championships than me?
Oh, absolutely.
You were?
Absolutely. I knew you were going to get one because of the energy, going into Miami and D-Wade and everything that was there. I knew you were going to get that one. So I knew I had to get at least 2 or 3. I wanted you to get that.
They had the potential to be even greater than Jordan's Bulls. Think about that for a moment. The Lakers had 2 top 75 players of all time, both in their absolute primes, with the greatest coach in NBA history guiding them. They captured 3 straight championships and were on track to win at least 6. Instead, they collapsed in one of the most spectacular self-destructions in sports history.
Egos get in the way. That word, my team, will mess you up. A lot of necessary stuff that shouldn't have happened because of the ego. And it was probably my fault.
If you had the wisdom you have now back then, how many championships you feel like you guys could have won?
7.
7?
Because the reason why I got traded, it wasn't about me and Kobe beef. It was what they wanted me to take less money. I just should have been like, all right, it's your team now. I know what I'm going to do. I'm still going to do my 28-10. All right. But I was like, nah, I want 150. If I had all I would do again, I probably would have had a meeting with the family. Which I want to do. Want me to take less money, take a less role, stay here, or you would still want me to be Shaq? See, it's that ego. The ego still got me what I want. I still won one, but I would have liked to have stayed there the rest of my career.
And here's the part that might make you angry. Lakers insider Gary Vitti finally revealed the truth. It wasn't just Kobe and Shaq at the heart of the conflict. The real villains had been hiding in plain sight all along. Phil Jackson, the so-called Zen master, was actually the puppet master of destruction. Jerry Buss, the beloved owner, chose money over legacy. And the players who saw it all, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Karl Malone, Gary Payton, have been protecting the real story for years.
A team is like a family. And you may get mad at somebody in your family. You might get angry with your mom or your dad or your brother or your sister. But you don't stop loving them. And that's the difference. In that era, we stopped loving each other. And when that happened, people started choosing sides. This really bothers me.
Yeah, no, I know it does.
Because we should have won 10 championships. Okay? It's easy to blame Kobe. And it's easy to blame Shaq. What about the rest of us? Including me. People chose sides. Players chose sides.
Right.
Hey, coaches chose sides. The fans chose sides. And it was divisive, and the whole thing crumbled.
Today, I'm exposing the truth, because the 2004 Lakers didn't just lose a championship. They committed the greatest act of self-sabotage in professional sports. Let me paint the picture of what should have been. In 2003, the Lakers added Karl Malone and Gary Payton, 2 Hall of Famers desperate for a ring, for basically nothing. They signed minimum contracts just to play alongside Shaq and Kobe. Even Magic Johnson said this team would bring back Showtime. With 4 Hall of Famers in the starting lineup, The Vegas odds had them as overwhelming favorites. But from day one, Phil Jackson was already planting seeds of destruction. Robert Horry later revealed that Phil thrived on conflict. He liked it when there was chaos.
Remind me of that one time Phil Jackson was a little crazy.
It wasn't crazy, it was just different. So Phil had this thing when he go, he wanted you to look up, he wanted you to call a play. So one time we didn't look up, so we get to a timeout, and he looks at Robert Horry and he goes, "Hey, I'm your master. When I whistle, you look up." Robert Horry said, "I'm from Alabama. You ain't my goddamn master. I don't play that."
That's crazy.
Yeah, he said that.
So then how did it get resolved? What happened after that?
But it was just he understood.
He was like, "Oh, my bad."
Yeah.
The so-called Zen master would literally stir the pot by telling Kobe what Shaq had said about him, then turning around and telling Shaq what Kobe had said. He was running psychological warfare on his own team. Think about that. The coach, the man meant to unite the roster, was deliberately creating division. Why? Because Phil Jackson had already decided he wanted out. He had his three-peat, matched Pat Riley, and was ready to write his tell-all book and cash in. But for that, he needed someone to blame. Here's what almost no one talks about. At the All-Star break, Phil Jackson told Jerry Buss he wouldn't return if Kobe came back. Let that sink in. The coach who had won 3 championships was secretly campaigning against his own player. Then, after losing the 2004 finals, Phil had the audacity to go to Buss and say, "You can't trade Shaq. He's the most dominant player in the league." Jerry Buss shot back, "Well, I'm going to trade him, and it won't matter to you because you're not coming back as coach either." But Phil wasn't finished. He went on to write his book the last season, where he branded Kobe a juvenile narcissist, calling him uncoachable, selfish, and immature. He painted Shaq as lazy and overly sensitive, further fueling the divide long after the dynasty had crumbled.
I'll give you a story of the stuff that was frustrating. There was a year there in 2003 where I had 40 points in 9 straight games. Right? Shaq was out. It was a toe thing. So Phil comes to me before the stretch, says, "Kobe, we need you to take over the offense." I'm like, "All right, cool." So that literally,
say no more.
I got it. Fine, I got it. So that literally started the streak of 40 straight games, 40 points in 9 straight games. Shaq comes back from injury, and Phil goes, I still continue to do it, right? And then Phil calls me to his office, goes, "Hey, we're starting to lose the big fella." What do you mean? Well, he's not getting the attention. This 40-point streak is starting to kind of take away his fire to prove something, right? So I need you to start dialing it back. I'm like, "What?" He says, "We're going to lose him."
Phil Jackson collected $30 million from the Lakers, won 3 championships, and then torched the entire organization on his way out for the sake of a book deal. And here's the kicker. Just a year later, he came back and won 2 more titles with Kobe. So was Kobe really uncoachable? Or was Phil Jackson the most manipulative coach in NBA history? Everyone points fingers at Kobe or Shaq, but the man who truly killed the dynasty was Jerry Buss, the owner who chose his wallet over winning. Shaq wanted a contract extension. He had delivered 3 championships, 3 finals MVPs, and was still dominant. But Buss didn't want to give a 32-year-old center max money. Instead, he let the media spin the story as the Kobe-Shaq feud. He allowed 2 all-time greats to publicly tear each other apart while he quietly protected his bottom line. Even Shaq admitted it later. When it came to his departure, Kobe could have spoken up. He could have defended him. But why would Kobe go to bat for Shaq when Buss had already made his decision?
Jeannie gave the 2-year, $48 million contract to Kobe Bryant. And Jeannie isn't Jerry, okay? And Jerry won how many championships while he was running it during the 33 years? 10? Guys, Jerry Buss was possibly the greatest owner of all time in sports. Won 10 championships in 33 years of owning the team. Think about it. When Shaq came up to him one time and Shaq's like, "Hey, Miami Heat wants to pay me this." He says, "Really?" "Yeah." He says, "Go get it."
Yeah, go get it, buddy.
He's like, I'm going to go with Kobe. Kobe's the future. You're not. And Shaq's like, "Really?" "Yeah, this is my team." "No, you won the 3 championships, but go get your money. I don't think this is your season. I think it's Kobe's season."
Think about this. If Jerry Buss had paid Shaq, kept Phil happy with a raise, and told Kobe to chill for just 2 more years, the Lakers likely win in 2004, 2005, and probably 2006. That's a 6-peat. Jordan who? But let's not let Shaq off the hook either. Shaq showed up to the 2003 training camp out of shape. Again. Karl Malone, a 40-year-old veteran, even called him out, saying, "If any 40-year-old man comes out there and kicks your butt running up and down the court, you ought to be embarrassed." Shaq's response? He went to the media and downplayed Kobe's importance during the Colorado trial, saying, "The full team is here," while Kobe was literally in court. That was their supposed leader, their most dominant player. And when the tension reached its peak, what did Shaq do? He pointed at Kobe in the locker room and told reporters, "There's the problem." Not the triangle offense, not his own refusal to stay in shape, not his contract demands. Kobe was the problem. Then, years later in 2008, after Kobe lost in the finals without him, Shaq grabbed a mic in a nightclub and rapped the infamous line, "Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes."
Kobe, they're doing a big celebration for you the last game. A lot of us are going to be there. Can you promise me one thing?
What's up?
I need 50 that night. Can you do it? The last home game at the Staples. Can you give us 50?
More than two.
No.
This was a grown man, a champion, acting like a bitter ex. And then there was Kobe. My God, Kobe. He was so obsessed with proving he could win without Shaq that he helped destroy a dynasty just to make a point. During the 2002 to 2003 season, he reportedly told teammates he'd hook them up with free Adidas gear if they passed him the ball more than Shaq. Robert Horry himself confirmed it. Kobe was literally bribing teammates to shoot more than the most dominant player in the league. And the punchline? He never even delivered the shoes, because he switched to Nike. Phil Jackson said players were begging for Kobe to be traded. His own teammates wanted him gone. But Kobe didn't care. He had to be the man. He couldn't stomach being Robin for 2 more years, even if that meant 3 more championships. To him, the spotlight mattered more than patience.
So I'm with Kobe. So we got a private jet. Up front is a table of 4. They're playing cards up there. And Kobe sits in this one seat, and I sit here, and then Shaq had a bed. We were spread out, and I'm watching Kobe like this, and I'm hearing dudes like yap about him. Like, I'm not gonna say names, Ty Lue. I'm looking, acting like, I don't know what they're talking about, and I'm hearing. And I was like, this can't be fair. And I go, and I sit next to him, and he goes, "Oh, what's up?" And I go, "You're not listening to anything, are you?" He goes, "No, I'm listening to them. They think I'm on." "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Doesn't bother you?" He said, "Nah, I know who likes me, who doesn't. I'm cool with that." He said, I don't hang out with them anyway. My friends are in Italy."